Have we lost touch with basic manners in public? The uproar over playing music or videos aloud on public transport is heating up, and the latest campaign by Transport for London, TfL, is fanning the flames. Starting this autumn, you'll see new posters plastered across the Elizabeth line and beyond, squarely targeting so-called headphone dodgers, who blast their favorite playlists or videos for all to hear. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this campaign a badly needed step, a futile gesture, or something in between? Let's dig into what's driving this debate, the personal stories beneath the noise, and the surprisingly complex disagreements at its heart. And this is the part most people miss. These stories reveal more about the state of our public spaces and how we treat each other than you might think. Ready to weigh in? Have we forgotten common courtesy? Some people insist that this campaign is seriously overdue. Tom, a 33-year-old lecturer from Leeds, believes the decline in public civility accelerated after the pandemic. It's almost as if we've forgotten how to behave around others, he observes. He's begun calling out disruptive behavior himself, and surprisingly, finds it quite satisfying. However, Tom points out a bigger issue: the dilapidation of public services, especially transport outside London. It can't just be people showing restraint. The state needs to step up too, he argues. If we want people to take pride in their public spaces and show respect, shouldn't the government invest in making those areas clean and comfortable first? This two-way street of mutual respect, Tom believes, is the only sustainable solution. Is he right, or is this expecting too much from public budgets, when sensory overload is more than just annoying? For Michael, a trade union official from Sheffield who is autistic, noisy environments cause genuine distress. Even pricey noise-cancelling headphones, £299 no less, can't drown out disruptive passengers. One time, someone was blasting music on my tram, and even after I asked politely, he refused and became threatening, he shares. Only then did staff step in. Michael questions whether polite appeals will work at all with those who simply don't care. The people causing the problem already know they're being disrespectful. Is it really about awareness or irreparable self-centeredness? Enforcement, a pipe dream. Then there's Chris, a 61-year-old paralegal in London, who raises a pointed question. Shouldn't TfL have anticipated this when they brought internet to the underground? Noise like this was already an issue on buses. Now, it seems ingrained. He doubts real change is possible, as nobody wants to foot the bill for enough trained staff to make a difference. Should we pour resources into policing every act of rudeness, or are we already fighting a losing battle? Just get over it, or should we? On the flip side, Stephanie, a 58-year-old career coach, thinks the focus is misplaced. Are things so ideal now that noise is all we have to worry about? She asks, referencing more pressing issues like broken escalators, faulty air conditioning, and poor accessibility on the tube. She finds many behaviors, eating, unpleasant smells, just as off-putting, but simply accepts them. Come to me when every station is spotless and step-free. Until then, maybe we just need to toughen up. TfL, part of the problem? John, a retired Londoner, takes a different line. Before criticizing riders about noise, perhaps TfL should reflect on its own incessant announcements. Hold the handrail. Don't run. Stand behind the yellow lines. Each message is sensible alone, but together they form a relentless stream that's arguably more distracting than a single loud commuter. To be honest, I bought noise-cancelling headphones mainly to drown out TfL's own announcements, he admits. Should transit authorities scrutinize their own contribution to noise pollution before regulating others? Hidden victims when loud sounds become overwhelming. Shell, a 48-year-old singer from Cardiff with single-sided hearing loss, describes public transport as an auditory maze. All the overlapping voices, loud phones, or media turn my surroundings into a jumble of meaningless noise. For those with hearing difficulties, such environments can feel inescapable and deeply stressful, draining joy from travel. Think about how these everyday annoyances become insurmountable obstacles for some. Is the outcry over loud music really about basic manners or about accessibility? Is enforcement a waste of time and money? Jane, 33 and a research scientist in London, voices skepticism about the impact of the campaign. It's just one or two selfish people at a time. So how can you possibly enforce a rule like this? Posters alone won't do the trick, and there aren't enough staff to intervene. To her, the whole initiative seems like a fruitless use of public resources. Do you agree? Or do campaigns like these pave the way for lasting cultural change? Gentle reminders won't cut it, except when they do. Remy, a 30-year-old humanitarian worker, welcomes efforts against noise pollution, calling the quiet train carriage one of the few escapes from constant sensory bombardment. But she questions TfL's softly approach. A gentle sign isn't enough. Most people don't even notice it while staring at their phones. And here's a twist. Remy admits she actually enjoys the festive atmosphere when groups play music on the night tube heading to Notting Hill Carnival. That feels more like community than nuisance. So where's the line? Is noise ever acceptable if it brings people together? Your turn. Sound off. Debate rages on. Is enforcing silence a matter of common courtesy, an unrealistic goal, or possibly even an infringement on personal expression? Should TfL look closer to home before criticizing the public? Does this campaign solve a real problem or just mask bigger issues with public transport infrastructure? Now's your chance. Do you agree that playing music aloud has spiraled out of control, or do you think complaints are overhyped? Where do you draw the line between freedom and respect in public spaces? Share your take or your own wild stories below. Let's see whose side London and the rest of the UK is really on.